Hello, everyone. Welcome to our pre ProcureCon event. Steve Dern and I are starting here. We're This is a first time event for us, so we're going to just see how this plays out between the two of us. You're talking to or you're listening to, I guess, a couple of people that have been in a lot of conferences over the years, and we thought it might be interesting to all of you to get some thoughts and ideas that we have when we get into these conferences, and then maybe give you some pointers for those that haven't come into these before. Now, I'd also say, excuse me, that after the conference, we're going to do a post-conference wrap-up. So that one might be even more entertaining for those of you that don't get to go to the conference. But that's kind of the plan here. Thoughts, Steve? We good to go?
I think we're good to go. Let's talk a little bit about ProcureCon Contingent Staffing.
Yeah, we were there last year, and it was a very interesting conference. It is one that's very much focused, well, it's solely focused on contract labor, which means that it's not a monster conference, and there's a lot of very good conversations that go on.
Definitely.
So be prepared to really have your ideas and thoughts on what you want to do when you get into that. When I think back to 2022, a couple of topics that were hot then one was direct sourcing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it seemed to be a big topic that has been around a bit, but is now working its way into the contract labor space. And I'm sure we'll see some more of that this year too.
Yeah, I would think so. Between ProcureCon and other industry events that I've attended, say for the last 7 or 8 years, direct sourcing has found its way onto that agenda. But really, I think it's still going to be on the agenda very much. But I think only recently in the last couple of years have the enterprise clients, at least in the US, really started to move forward with direct sourcing, particularly going beyond just how do we engage retirees and alumni. It's really taken on a stronger play from the technology platforms that are out there, which, you'll hear direct sourcing. You'll also hear digital sourcing kind of interchangeably in that regard. And then from our end, as more of a consulting service, the curation and EOR, AOR services that go along with that are very complementary. And that's going to be a key part in terms of driving a successful program overall.
Yeah. And I think the other part that's interesting with direct sourcing is, for years and years, as a consumer of contract labor, we're always kind of counting on the staffing company to represent us to the talent. And the direct sourcing allows companies to really represent themselves to the talent, which is a big change, particularly as we all know it's hard to find, enough people. So I think that's something that could play. What was that? See, sorry.
I said, especially these days with the talent economy being what it is and very transient workforce nowadays.
Yeah. And from a tech perspective, there was a lot of conversation around AI. And I want to make sure that as you attend the conference that you really try to define what you're looking for. AI tends to be artificial intelligence and machine learning, all those buzzwords that kind of get in the way. I saw one last year that I still chuckle about. It was a company that said they were an AI company, and I'm not going to give the exact example in case you are listening here, but my analogy would be if I called myself Kevin Moldestad Jr., then their version of AI said, well, Kevin looks like he's a second generation person. And really all he was doing was taking my title and, doing something that was very common sense and saying that was AI. My point is, if you're trying to use data to your benefit and you call that artificial intelligence or machine learning, make sure you look under the covers because it is really good and it's very topical. So that kind of leads us in. And actually, Steve, you had another thought on another thing that we both noticed last year.
Yeah. The great thing with last year's conference is it was kind of a finally we're back. And people were very enthusiastic about talking with one another, enterprise clients, mid-market clients, tech providers, solutions providers, consulting firms, et cetera. Extremely collaborative event. And as a solution provider, we really noticed a lot of attention from the mid-market customers. That is, if you look at the statistics that are out there, that's where a lot of the growth, a lot of the remaining Gen 1 and Gen 0 types of opportunities lie as people are looking at solutions. So, to those people who are coming in that kind of fall into that, this can be a fantastic event for you. There's a lot of participation by newer firms, newer technology platforms, or even veteran platforms that have really stepped up their game in recent times and recreated themselves. So, if you've got an idea as to where your needs are, be prepared to share that information as you find those right fits along the way. The most important thing I can always recommend to an enterprise client is know what your business is, know what your pain points are, and have a strategy for how you want to share that with all the providers that are going to be there. Now, you may come across some that you're going to say, no, they're not the right fit. Okay, maybe you have a condensed message for those firms so that you're kind, you're polite, you're respectful, et cetera.
Right.
But if there's someone that really, you bond with a little bit during the event, be ready to go a little deeper with them. Know what your pain points are. Know what the strategic vision is. Know your spend, your headcount, the regions, what are the obstacles involved, things like that, because that helps solution providers and technology providers really start to hone in and start thinking of how they may be able to craft solutions, or not even the solution, but craft the strategy by which they're going to interact with you to come up with the right solution.
Right.
And that to me was a fantastic part of this event last year.
Yeah, and I think I could even go further with that too, in that there's a lot of people that attend these that are really just trying to see what's out there in the market, some new things, right? Maybe for next year, maybe for somewhere down the line. But there is a lot of talent there that'll be able to help you solution something that'll create a fix for exactly what you're looking for. So be looking for those people. You'll also find, as you will with any conference, that there are people that just want to tell you their pitch, and they're not really interested in what you're trying to do. But you will find people that want to partner with you, and it's a great conference for that. There'll be a lot of really good conversation. And I agree with your point on on trying to find the solution that you're looking for, as opposed to just seeing what kind of products are out there. Another point that I thought was interesting that we had talked about briefly beforehand was using the platform to build a business case. And you can certainly do that. There will be people there that will help you if you're going down the path of internally selling an idea, or internally trying to fix a problem that that you have. And look for I call them partners, not vendors, but look for people that are interested in helping you solution your problem. Thoughts on that one, Steve?
No, absolutely. You're going to get organizations that approach things differently at these events. But from my perspective, thought leadership is a key thing. It always has been with me and the organizations that I've been with. We want to add value. We want to make it compelling, but we want to make it collaborative with those prospective clients. One of the things that we always like to do are roundtable events. So in addition to speaking on one of the panel discussions, I'll be hosting a roundtable on how to write an RFP that matters and can be most effective for you. So taking some different approaches, and I've interviewed several people in the purchasing community heading into it to get their thoughts as well. But it's something we're really looking forward to hosting on day one of the event.
Yeah, I think we're hosting an event too. There's a lot of good events there too. So,
Absolutely.
Steve, any other thoughts? I don't want to have this run too long, but I just wanted to give everybody a little bit of an idea of what we're thinking, and hopefully you'll find some value. Want to come back and see us post event to see what we thought of it all.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to the event. To my knowledge, it's the first that they've done it in the Austin area. So certainly a great city for that. Again, my recommendation is come prepared, come intelligent, but also be collaborative. Be willing to collaborate with the people that you make that connection with, because there's a lot of expertise that is going to be in the room. In those exhibition halls, et cetera. And if you find someone that you've got that confidence level in, it's a great opportunity to start forging those relationships and getting your own contingent workforce program ready to go to the next level. So
sure,
that's my tip to the audience.
Yeah, agreed. And we didn't really do any introductions of each other up front. But you can find us in a lot of different spots, whether it's LinkedIn or in our company website. And so why don't we show you, give us that wrap up slide so that you can see some of our contact information there. Please feel free to get a hold of Steve or myself. Our phone numbers and email addresses, and obviously in other social media sites. And we certainly look forward to seeing you at ProcureCon and during the follow-up. Oh, and a quick note to that. This particular stream, we didn't really want to have a lot of interaction because we didn't really know how that was going to play. But in the follow-up, you will be able to interact with us directly. And we'll explain that right when we start the follow-up stream. It'll be on a couple of different streaming sites, so you'll be able to go in and ask us questions real time if you like. So kind of look forward to that. Bring your questions for us if you don't see us at the conference. If there are things that you'd like us to look for you there, or if there's other things that you'd like to do, if you're not able to attend, certainly feel free. We're here and available for you also.
I guess I'll add to the commercial here a little bit at the end here, Kevin.
Sure.
If anyone out there is viewing this and you want to make sure that you get a chance to connect with us, please feel free to reach out to Kevin or myself, or maybe both of us, via email or phone before the event. I know that from our perspective, we tend to try to get some meetings preset and things like that. So it's a great opportunity to make sure that you've got a chance to chat with either of us.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Thanks, Steve, and we hope to see you all at the conference, and appreciate your attending this short live cast.
See y'all in Austin.